Hi everybody, welcome and thank you for watching today. It is 2 days before Christmas. It's the 23rd of December, and tomorrow, Christmas Eve, is my favorite day of the entire year. And it has been, hi Olga, it has been my favorite day for as long as I can remember, even since childhood. I love Christmas Eve. I love the build up to Christmas morning. And once Christmas morning comes, it's so wonderful and it's so much fun. But then when it's over, there's like this deep exhale and like this almost sense of loss of like, it's over. And in another year, it'll be Christmas again. And we'll wait a whole other year. So I was thinking about this today and how many times in my life and how many times in the life of my clients, we're working with their deepest desires, and we're working with manifesting these things and bringing them into our physical reality. And as feminine women, we are powerful manifestors. And what sometimes can get in the way of receiving what we want is that there is actually a part of us that doesn't want it yet, or that doesn't want it at all. And so there's a massive amount of power in being able to tap into this kind of deeper part, the shadow part, the subconscious, and asking ourselves, why don't I want what I want? Why do I want it? This is a really powerful question. And something that we can do. Hi, Claudia. Merry almost Christmas. Is we can get really clear on why we want something, and we can purify our desire from the ego. But then there's this piece of it where we need to get clear with ourselves on why we also don't want it. And there's been this thing I've been deeply wanting to manifest. Like many of us, a lot of the really big milestones in our life, we've been dreaming about these things since we were little girls. We dream of our wedding day. We dream of the day we marry the man we spend the rest of our life with. We dream of having children. And it's okay. Everybody does it, Claudia. There's no H at the end of my name, but it happens all the time. I also answer to my sister's name, Ashley. So I was noticing today this resistance that I have, and I've felt this before, this resistance of actually having the desire fully manifest, because then it'll be over. Like then this day and this thing that I've dreamed of my entire life since being a little girl, it'll have happened, and I won't be on this side of the manifestation. And there's something so magical about the preliminary, like the build up, the what's going to happen, when is it going to happen. I remember being single, how exciting dating could be. As much as it was like sometimes tragically heartbreaking, it was always like, what if today is the day, and how is it going to happen, and who is it going to be, and what's it going to look like? And then when it happens, oh my gosh, like what a gift. But it's also over now, kind of like we met the love of our life, and this is him, and now we get to go into the real work of building a relationship. The day we get engaged, like we've been so excited about this our entire life. We can't wait, and then that day happens, and now that day is over. Or planning our wedding, and then having our wedding, and then like hopefully, we're all hoping when we get married that's our only wedding, right? But that's our only wedding, and it happened. And now, so it's just like, some of the shadow work is realizing that we love sensation, and we love sensation whether we perceive it as pleasurable or painful. And we actually have a lot of power in the way we perceive sensation. So being in the phase of wanting can feel excruciating, but it can also feel like ecstasy. It can also feel so good, and it can be a feeling that we don't want to give up. So there's power in acknowledging this, and in realizing that there will always be a next thing. There will always be another thing that at some point in the future we want, and we always get to be in this place of manifestation and of bringing in the next thing. And one of my mentors says, 1 foot in gratitude and 1 foot in desire. So we're always walking in gratitude and desire, and realizing that desire is just a part of our life, and that when the desire is fulfilled, it's okay, because there will be another desire, and then that desire becomes something that we become so grateful for. And then we are given this opportunity now to become this person and to do the work. Another bit of resistance we can have, that we can look at with our shadow, is when we receive our desire, we are going to have to die to the person, to the version of ourselves that we were before we had the desire, especially if it's a big life-changing desire. Like, I have not become a mother, but this is like a huge life change, a huge identity shift. And when you have a baby, you're not the same person anymore. But in any kind of big life transition like this, meeting a partner, moving in with a partner, getting engaged, getting married, you die to a version of yourself to bring the new version in. So it can be very helpful to just acknowledge this death, and it is, in a way, in a sense, it is a loss. It's a loss of your former identity, and it is a birthing into your new identity. It's a becoming, but just really honoring this process and understanding that having is evidence of wanting. So we are always powerfully creating our life. And when we can fully acknowledge this, we step out of victimhood completely. And this is something that I've learned over and over and over again, but it's really being shown to me right now, that what we have is what we wanted, and it's what we created. And when we can fully own that, there is no limit to what we can create then, because we've acknowledged ourselves as the creator, and we have completely let go of any victimhood. And it's hard work, because if we have less than ideal circumstances, or if we have things that we don't consciously want, it can be really confronting to look at ourselves and say, well, what part of me did want this? Because this is what I've created. It can feel like wildly offensive to look at it this way. I'm reading a book right now called Portal by Yolanda Clark, and it's about choosing pain-free childbirth, which I'm not having a baby anytime soon. I don't know if I ever will, but the beautiful message in this book is that we always get to choose the way we perceive our experiences, and we get to learn how to transmute pain and learn how to change our perception of our reality, and realize that when we step out of victimhood, this is what we have created. We have exactly what on some level we wanted. And of course, this is not to discount anyone's actual victimhood. Like, of course, people are victims and there are perpetrators. But when we can acknowledge that we've created what we have, it gives us back our power. So another book that I really love on this topic is the book Existential Kink, and I believe the name of the author is Caroline something. But she talks a lot about this. And I just want to encourage you, if there is something in your life that it's felt almost impossible, it's felt like something you've deeply desired for so long. I know so many of my clients deeply desire partnership, and it can feel elusive before you meet the person that you're meant to be with. And fully owning the piece of you that's created what you've created so far, and then knowing that you can create differently as soon as you choose, it can really help to put things in perspective. I feel like when we fully drop in and we fully allow ourselves to experience like exactly where we're at in our life and exactly where we're at in our manifestation process as the way we experience Christmas Eve. As, like, to me, the most magical night of the entire year is the night before the big day, the night before the presents get opened, the night before we receive the thing that we've been wanting to receive. And when we learn to hold that sensation and to transmute it and to turn that sensation into pleasure, it's a real game changer. And I think when we give ourselves the full experience of just reveling in the not yet having, we get to the having, because we're giving ourselves what we're truly craving. We're giving ourselves the experience of not yet fully being where we're going. And we're really dropping into the pleasure of it, dropping into the fact that, like, on some level, we freaking love it. I had a client who, he was a very wise man, and he was happily married for many years. And this was years ago. And I was online dating at the time, and I would tell him my online dating adventures. And he would tell me, well, you have to want it. And I would say, I do. Like, it's like the main thing I want is to find a partner to create a life with. And he'd be like, no, you have to want it. And I would say, I do want it. And he would say, no, you have to want it. And we would go back and forth like this. And at the time, I didn't fully understand what he was trying to get through to me. But now it's the most beautiful message. But he was telling me that I had to want it more than I didn't want it, and that I had to look at my shadow and to see where I was blocking the thing that I said I wanted the most, where the parts of me were that weren't yet ready to die to that version of myself and to step into the new version. And to just really confront all of my resistance and to work with it. You know, awareness is the first step, and it's a huge step. So just being able to go within, ask yourself why you want what you want, and then ask yourself why you don't want what you want, or why you don't want it yet. And let your desire start to feel like heaven instead of hell. Let that excruciating feeling of not yet having the thing start to feel exquisite. And let this be the Christmas Eve of your manifestation, for however long that is, and see where that leads you. I would love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to start a little bit of a dialogue on this. I'm going to be posting this video in my Hearthkeepers Circle membership. If you're not a member yet, you can join with a free trial. It's a 30-day trial, and it gives you access to a ton of pre-recorded content, including my 20-hour interview series on the feminine art of receiving, which is one of my favorite things I've ever done, as well as master classes that I've pre-recorded on business and feminine energy. Effortless Enchantress is in there, so all kinds of good stuff. And then as a member of Hearthkeeper Circle, you get a transmission every single month, a training from me, and then 2 live Q&As where we do group coaching, and these are my favorite calls. We dive so deep. It's such a close-knit sisterhood circle, and it's just the most supportive, beautiful thing. So all of this, and it's free for you for 30 days. So click the link in my bio and click the button that says Hearthkeeper Circle free trial, and you just sign up, and I'll see you inside of my circle. Thank you so much for being here, and again, please post your comments and your thoughts in the comment section. And Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Happy New Year, and I'll talk to you